Hello and welcome back to Roadwarden. There are 3 rivers of faith, the core readings of rights tablets, the rivers of order, truth, and freedom. We're going to continue where we last left off. We are asking questions to the Lieutenant Tulia about what we should do. We're also going to ask her about a rope, so we'll ask that first. Your luck, stranger. She heads towards one of the crates and moves aside a large linen sack, revealing a rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits down on her chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. Okay. Oh, man. So we got a regular rope made of hemp fibers. So that means it can be made of, like, other fibers and stuff. If you're unfamiliar with this game, it's basically going to be me reading to you. If you are a fast reader, I recommend you get the game yourself. If you don't like my reading abilities, I'm sorry about that. I'm not a professional fucking linguist. I'm just playing a game that looks really fun. So Talia, the lieutenant, leans forward and rests her forearms on her thighs, looking down with clasped hands, then meets your eyes. I'd normally refuse, but we need some decent food. Every day I'm searching through our groats, looking for worms and putridity. We forage, but it's not a great spot. Some food rations will brighten up a foggy day. So she's asking me to give her something. Well, we need to know about the peninsula. I'll tell you what I know, and you'll be the judge, says the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city on a decent palfrey? I'd guess it would be 3-4 days. When you confirm, she continues. From here you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation? Why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea route allows Hovlavin. It's the hard Hovlavin officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes, move the soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools, etc. But maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore. The boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know why it's going through all this. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore. They don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk. As she pauses, her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came to the camp, but when we traveled to the roadside inn, Pelt of the North, they're happy to trade and to play dice. So we'll keep that in mind. Pelt of the North. He didn't give me distance for that though. Why not just stay at one of the settlements? The man clears his throat. I mean, you know, we're to guard this road. This camp is our post, and well, he turns toward Talia. She lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way, fiend. But are you a devout soul? Like most city folk, I believe people should unite their strength to overcome the threats of nature and dark magic. Everyone will be judged for both good and evil deeds. I am part of the United Church. That is something. For many years, I supported the monastery that does its best to advance mankind's spiritual growth, artistry, herbalism, and magical research. I follow the teaching of an order of truth. I'm from a small village. For me, the freedom of Numa. That's the Numa. And soul are the main virtues of my life. My community is unique and independent, and so are its members. I have a place in my fellowship. I have a strong connection to nature and spirits and follow the path of my ancestors. Some of my beliefs may be considered sinister and treacherous by the city folk. You'd probably call me a pagan. There's no evidence of the right's existence, and all the mystical tales are explained by magic. No, I'm not. We'll be the United Church. Yeah, because they obviously... A fellow unite, the man smiles. Though in this land it won't bring you much good. At least we can discuss the topic freely, adds the lieutenant with a barely visible smile. Let's get into it. The people here are disquieting. I've never heard that word as much as I know. Every few words she taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials. Here, She starts to draw lines with her index finger, as if she's pointing at an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with 4 roads, like a big circle. You'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan, I don't think. It even has a priest who claims to be an eremite. Wow, it's gonna be hard to read all this. You nod. She means a fellowship. They do crazy shit. Yeah, I agree. Her companion chips in. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. Oh, so they're kind of like necromancers. They're enslaving the dead souls. Once I saw it, I begged to never return there. You've heard tales such as this one when you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without a city's influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. That's true to reality. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they have to deal with, and the rustic pagan traditions muddy their river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages, the bringers of doom, the traitors of humankind, or to humankind. So, we'll ask about the East. She stares off across the count. Hard to tell. We went there only once. There are hills, forests, rivers. We saw a tunnel sculpted in leaves and branches, but we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. So yeah, that's like the direction of the forest, I believe. Were you able to speak with these necromancers? You can see that why we were not eager to go there if we could avoid it. The lieutenant chuckles. Maybe they'll be more welcoming to our Roadwarden. The roads are dangerous with little to no shelters. People need your help. Like, what exactly do I do, though? Do I fight the monsters? I feel like I'm a bitch. The man in the shirt turns a bit and points a finger to the northwest. I'm kind of, guess, like, I've never played it, The Witcher. Surprisingly, I never played it. I don't like it. If you're heading to the undead village, you'll get to an inn first, and soon. Talia nods. Tell to the north is a safe place. You can talk with the innkeep or the guards. Ask them about the road. Yeah, we're probably gonna take like a nap here and leave. Any monster worth mentioning, anything that could catch my mount. We saw all sorts of beasts. The man starts to count on his fingers. Goblins, treants, which I think are tree monsters, cats, large and small, runners, howlers, wolves, spiked boars, mouflon eaters, griffins, but we managed to stay away. Some could catch up with most mounts. Talia glances at her companion, though a palfrey should be fine. The trees are too tall that flying creatures keep to the coast and mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting amongst themselves. They fight more for food than territory. So am I food? Soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and ride fast. Just count on luck. Well, we'll ask what happens. Talia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him for almost half a year. The soldiers speak for a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirm that he had stopped by their camp a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife. Without looking at you, I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on that wax tablet of his. Yep, and leave at dawn. Oh, we're about to read this. Unlike us, Astron never gets bored. Talia lets out a joyless chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping him in a basement, the man carves with passion. We haven't seen him or his Sauron. Something ate them, I bet. The Vishals have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer Roadwardens often use four-legged, meat-eating saurians as their mounts. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but unlike horses, can easily defend themselves from many monsters. Oh, okay. At least your palfrey is fast and reliable and won't won't suddenly sink its teeth into an innocent bystander or passerby. Do you know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message. Neither one of us had any insight into his dealings, says Tolia. My predecessor left me no clues. We also took a look at Astrion's stuff. Wait, she raises a palm. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Hovlavon. I can't fucking say it. Hovlavon. I was planning to take all his things there. Oh, you didn't want to steal his stuff. A pouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions. Quite a treasure. She glances at you. But I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. So you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for this stuff? Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of her sword. We fired a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned, and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We are meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us, tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll get back to Hovlavon together. You think about your real mission. You were planning to return to Hovlavon in the early fall anyway. So, if he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about me taking away all of his possessions. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'd begrudge you anything. And who knows, you may just find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. Shell. He wears mail. Oh, that's like his body. He wears mail, uses a spear mostly, maybe 5 feet tall but stout. Long red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles. Okay. She glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing, she sits down and stretches out her legs. So find out what happened to him, dead, alive, left. Just let me know. Oh my god, just let me know. There's going to be quite a bit of stuttering as this game takes a lot to speak, and I'm going to grab some water. I'm going to need like fucking 2 gallons. Delicious. What happened to your squad? The man shrugs. Bad has happened. And monsters. A strong band, though. His companion chips in. When we got to the peninsula in spring, we saw some people living in this camp. The lieutenant decided to avoid it and look for an inn. We had to travel through the night for a bit. The bearded soldier scoffs and crosses his arms, but she carries on. If he had decided otherwise, we would all have died that day. The innkeeper explained that the camp is a trap, that the armed ones pretend to be soldiers, stay there at night, lose everything you have. That's what I was scared these guys are. I'm leaving. Totally sighs, very much so. They killed some and took others away, who knows where. They were letting the northerners go, hoping to avoid their wrath. It kind of worked at the soldiers. We asked them for help, but they refused. We had to clear the entire camp on our own, and that's why 3 of our people died. Don't exaggerate, it's not like the lieutenant didn't make a mistake. He wanted to get rid of them and take over their camp, but we didn't know our enemy well enough. We were outnumbered, and they had an ice mage among them. She looks at you. At least we cleared the road. Saved lives. Nothing that would surprise you. Those of us who survived the skirmish were young, too inexperienced to spend a summer in this place without a good leader, and they didn't trust me. One of them got caught by a treant, another one ignored my orders to perform some sort of ritual hunt, so a werebear tore her to pieces. The last one tried to act tough, didn't tell us that he had cut his hand while cleaning his gamson. She lets out a ghastly chuckle. We had to cut it off, and he was so ashamed they decided to walk north, find a new life, disappear. Idiot. What a colorful journey. The man tries to drink from his mug, but it's empty. So, yeah, they lost 6, and that's, yeah. Barely, yeah, exactly. He made this place safe. She's like, yeah, I don't believe so. And who knows if it was worth the lives and effort. Their story kind of like, but like I don't have anything to tell if these guys are telling me the truth. I don't really give a shit about Tolia. If you were me, where would you go next? They're gonna tell me to go to the north, then yeah. He grabs his empty mug. The one northwest from here, and if you can't afford the room, the main hall is free of charge. The locals rarely gather there. The northern road is much more traveled, mentions Tolia, but the hunters will tell you about this and that, and you have a chance to introduce yourself. The innkeeper can listen and knows many souls. Any tips on how I can make a good first impression on him? She smirks. Avoid cheap jokes. Stick to trade. Don't waste his time. Show him that you can be relied on. Tell you how'd you become lieutenant? That's not much of a story, honestly. She looks at her hand, which is currently rolling a mug over the table. In the city, there's a strict order of, what should I call it? She exchanged a look with her companion, but he can't help her. Well, leadership succession, I guess. Havlov and Chief selects commanders. Those select lieutenants, and those put their soldiers in order of priority. If a lieutenant dies, they get replaced by the next soldier in line. So you were his successor? Nah, not exactly. When we fought the bandits, our lieutenant was hit by a slingshot. His boyfriend jumped to help him. Nice. But failed to protect either of them from a spell. It was like a ball of ice that hung above them and exploded, piercing their heads, completely avoiding their shield. That's pretty badass, really unpleasant. She pauses. And you were there? You were the third one in line, is that right? Jumping like that to save a man in the middle of an attack doesn't sound like a wise decision. Sure. I agree, but so what? He's dead, and I doubt he's going to learn much from scolding. True. That's very true. Basically, yeah. She says without enthusiasm. I didn't plan to become a leader, though. I'll get demoted once we return to the city. I prefer to follow anyways. Yeah, that's why she wants me to be the leader and take over. Okay, so I believe them, to be honest. What was your squad's mission? The lieutenant looks into your eyes. You know, the usual, making the road safe, keeping people alive, yeah. I explained that it may be important for me to know what they have tried to accomplish. I can't really tell you. You sense no hesitation. Do you have any other questions? I think it's too... She doesn't trust me enough. Yeah. Anything I should know about the camp? The story is brief. Some merchants built the camp to have an extra stop for mules and donkeys just between the inn and the southern villages. There's plenty of grass here and a pond nearby. When the peninsula grew more dangerous, the camp stood abandoned from time to time, serving as a shelter for travelers. The bandits came here in spring, further paralyzing the exchange of information between the northern and southern settlements. Since these highwaymen are no more, the situation may reverse. Time will tell. You can sleep here whenever you want, wherever you want. The man concludes their tale. Though don't expect to wake up without any pain in your back. That is what I'm talking about, dude. She doesn't trust you. She fucking is. They're like, I will stick a knife in your fucking back. I agree, Talia sighs with relief, and you may do better than Asteria did. Stay vigilant. She winks at you, shattering the mask of a soldier. Thanks for your help. You go to the barrel and splash water on your face, which makes you even more aware of how much you need a bath. After the night, it will only get worse. Your horse is already napping, still too anxious to lay down. I look for a place to protect it from the wind. I use my bag as a pillow, put my blanket on the ground, and cover myself with my cloak. You aren't used to sleeping in such harsh conditions, but it's better than nothing. The weather is gentle, maybe you won't catch a cold. The stars instantly inspire your dreams, both with their splendor and by making you look for patterns and shapes among them. Your job starts tomorrow. Technically, it started tonight. I focus on the real goal of my journey. The Merchant Guild wants to take control of this realm. Your wardening duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula. Learn about the territory, resources, and threats. Get to know the locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with Hobgoblin officials and traders. Could the tribes resist the soldiers or be a threat to priests of the United Church? Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? At least I have time. I need to be as thorough as I can. That's why I chose casual, because I don't want to be a timed game. Once you finish your reconnaissance, you should speak with Tulia and return to Hobgoblin. There you'll report back to your employees and get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own goal to pursue. Alright. So we have a couple options here. I need to gather some extra coins so I can help the person I care about. I need to gather some extra coins so I can retire early and live in prosperity and safety. If I gather enough connections among the local leaders, I'll use them to become a major player in the merchant guild. That's not me. I want to be remembered as the soul who brought peace and order to this realm, a hero. I just want to help people, make this region safer for locals and newcomers alike. I need to find a new life for myself. I have a difficult past and I want it to be forgotten. The forbidden stranger. Your half-asleep senses are catching the sounds of the wild forest. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious, though the pleasant, humid, late summer air evens it out slowly. You're thinking about your goal, but you need to get the fuck out of here. Okay, just sleep. Sleeping on the ground. Your blanket won't be much of a bed. Your palso barely covers you from the wind. Sleeping here will be severely uncomfortable. We're gonna lose bits of our health and life. Holy shit. So our vitality is 2 out of 4. It would have just been better to move on. Your experience, no penalties, are bonuses. And our appearance. People are hesitant to trust you. Your face is dirty. Okay. You're surrounded by sunlight. Your back begs you to stand up. Before you fully wake up, you smell a roast. No burning meat. Burning rotten meat. Disgust crawls toward your consciousness. You stand up. Normally you would dust off your cape and blanket, but your instincts are stronger than your routine. Your horse is looking around nervously. Your bags are where you had left them. You see an open gate. I want to jump on my horse and get the fuck out. We go outside to see what's happening. Both soldiers are standing near a humble pyre. The man in the shirt looks at it contemplatively. Tully is the first one to address you. Bean, she greets you with a nod. We use the horse's manure for the flames, so don't worry about cleaning it up. You see a corpse among the flames. It's impossible to tell if it belongs to a male or a female, but it was an adult. The burning process won't be over for a couple hours. A traveler or an undead? The latter, a young one. She lacked Uma to understand that she couldn't get inside the camp without climbing. I stabbed her with a spear from a safe distance. She shifts her weight. One more fog and she'd be a real threat. Even now, it took a couple of hits to knock her down. Sooner or later, every human shell wakes up, gathering more strength with each soul it devours, in each moment it spends in the fogs. Burning the dead is not just a religious practice, it is a necessity. Soldiers, priests, and village mayors, even road wardens, making a large pyre takes a lot of time, but it saves lives. Talia calls us an undead as she. Most unites hesitate to do so. Time for me to leave. I do not trust you, motherfuckers. Running away from the reek, huh? I don't blame you. She looks again at the fire. Find us here if you learn what happened to Esterion. We'll leave once the fall comes. So if we had stayed up last night, we would have fought that thing. So we leave once the fall comes, if not sooner. Safe travels. These words make you stop. An old farewell mocked in a number of songs and tales, but yet you hear no scorn in Tullia's voice. She observes the fire with one hand on her hip, the other one on her chin. I prepare myself for the journey. So you gather your equipment and spend half an hour warming up and preparing your mount, double checking your buckled straps you put on your gambeson, and make sure that your axe is tightly attached to your belt. Then get in the saddle. Your palfrey knickers ready to leave. It's time for you to get to the crossroads north from here. Oh my god, that was so hard to read. And we're gonna travel. So this is Tullia's camp here. And we can click this. We'll start traveling north. Very, very cool. This is a great spot to end. We'll find out What happens after, but we'll read first. Even at a later hour, you wouldn't expect to meet any travelers in the valley. The warm summer breeze lures your mount forward, but the serene chirping of birds is quickly replaced by the distracting screeches and gurgles coming from further down the path. You soon find a pack of four-legged griffins. They're larger than foxes and merge the feathers of birds and furred beasts. So they're about the size of a fox. That's interesting. Each one is of a different size, coat, and colors, and their temperaments are just as varied. Their fronts are covered with vivid feathers, while their rears have darker fur. Their wings are massive, making them impressive jumpers, but they're too heavy to fly. Okay, about 24 beasts are yelling, brawling, and chasing each other around, blocking your path. Oh. Should I end here? I shouldn't end here. I'll check what I can do. You enter the forest blindly. If these or other creatures were to chase after you, the thicket would be disastrous for your horse. There are reasons why travelers stay as close to the main roads as possible and why adventurers move in groups. Usually the safest approach would be to stay where you are and just wait for the pack to get hungry. It may, however, take up to a couple of hours. You're thinking about your conversation with Tolia. You've got a lot to do and time may be of the essence. So we could use force. If you had any vitality points, you could use the warrior's training to access unique interactions. So I can roll. Grab my crossbow, the light hit should be enough to make them scatter. Should stay here, better safe than sorry. I don't know how good my accuracy is. I take my axe and hurry the horse. If we ride fast enough, we should be fine. They can jump, so they might be able to knock me off. We'll try it. Initially, your horse completely trusts your guidance, though after a few more steps of snorts, you prepare your axe and get ready to push away any griffin willing to jump on you. Once you get in the middle of the surprised herd, your mount squeals and gallops forward. The creatures in front of you flee, but others try to jump at you from both sides. You kick two of them away, but the third one scratches your leg. It hurts, though only a bit. Oh my god. You ride away and the griffins can't keep up. You still hear them, their screeches when your mount slows down. Oh man, we almost died just straight out. Once I get to a safer spot, I stop to clean and bandage my wound. The road splits, and according to what the soldiers have told you, you may find a safe inn by turning left. The forest to the right is lush, and the trail is overgrown. Kids used to have a song. How did it go? The harshest pathways lead to the dragon's lair. Those who search for treasure, do you truly dare? The signpost in front of you doesn't make your situation much clearer. It was put here by someone who can't write. For folks who can't read. Covered in old red paint, it points east. Blood there, as people say, danger to be found. There's not a soul to ask for guidance. So, we look to our horse. What will we name? Arthur. My horse's name is Arthur. Arthur is as peaceful as you stroke its mane. Maybe it can't help you choose a path, but you've spent many years together. Happy to go on, it takes a couple of steps forward. You spot a few berry shrubs and wild cabbages, but they still need at least 2 weeks to gain maturity. Time to make a turn. We will travel in the next episode. We will go west. But from here, I'm going to end. As this game is hard to talk, it's like all talking and basically just practice for me to get good at fucking reading while talking and recording. So, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.